Hi, I'm Michelle Renee Hiatt of American Quilters Society, and this is the third part of our series that's featuring my Kentucky Rose Garden Quilt. You can find the pattern along with the fabric kit, if you would like, on our website at americanquilter.com. In this series, we're going to talk about pressing. In the prior series, we talked about color, how to find a color plan that works for your quilt, and in the second part of the series, we talked about finding your 1/4 inch, proper pinning and stitching. So now let's talk about how do we finish it with proper pressing. Believe it or not, pressing can make a major difference in how your quilt comes out, how flat your blocks lay, and how easily those blocks come together. All right, so some of my favorite tools are, I love to use a wool mat. I find that the heat from a good iron will reflect it and do where it's almost pressing from both sides. One of my favorite go-tos is this Quilters Select mat. I love that I have a cutting mat on one side that is, it gives me ample room for cutting. It's 16 inches square. And then I can turn it over and have my wool mat. I love to go to retreats and teach at retreats, and this is a perfect go-to tool to have. It's essential. All right. I also, when pressing, love to use the magic spray. It's Faultless Magic. I love the aerosol as well as the spray bottle. They are terrific. They really work well. It's basically a non-starch that gives your fabric some body, if you would. It makes it a little bit harder for it to fray, and it really helps you get really nice flat blocks. You'll notice here, this is an 8-pointed star. That is one of the blocks in the quilt, and one pinning does terrific. We talked about that in the last series. Stitching a true 1/4 inch makes it perfect, and then finishing it off with a great press really makes a difference. You can see here my seams look perfect. They're nice and flat. There's no bulk, and it has a really nice feel to it, and it will lay flat. All right, so again, that is accomplished by also utilizing a great iron. I love the Rowenta Perfect Steam. It has over 300 holes with that steam comes out, so it's nice and balanced, and it only steams on demand. All right, has a huge tank that has a lot of water capabilities, and so I personally can stitch all day with a full tank of this. So these are my favorites. So now let's talk about the pressing. All right, so the quilt started off with some diamonds, right, that I attached 2 wedges to. Whenever you have this exposed bias, you really need to make sure you are taking your time with pressing this. So I'm going to show you these. All right. What I like to do first is set my seams by steaming it just a bit and pressing it until it's dry. It is allowing those seams that you just put in to fall down and lock. All right, giving it a really nice and flat thread. Then you want to take your fingers and really finger press. You really do not want to take an iron and shove. That can take this nice straight line and make it curved. A hot iron will do a lot of damage to your quilts and your piecing if you're not careful. So now that I have it finger pressed, I'm just going to coax it over, give it a little hit of steam. Same thing there. I am not utilizing that iron to move it. Then I like to finish it off with a little bit of magic, and it just gives it a little bit of stiffness to it and allowing them to lay flat. All right. Later in the quilt, you put these together into our 1/4 units, and let me show you how you would press those. This is pressed open. In order to achieve a nice flat 8-pointed star, you really, when you're putting your quarters together, need to consider pressing it open. One of the things I like to do when I'm pressing open is lower my stitch count down to a 1.5 to make sure that I'm keeping the strength of the quilt intact. So I'm going to go ahead, set that seam again. Now for The pressing a seam open, I like to utilize a pressing stick. They have them in wool, they have them in wood. Both work great. All right, then I'm going to put my piece over the stick, and I'm going to come in here and open up this seam, just utilizing my finger. So this is my version of finger pressing at this stage. And then I'm going to come in with my iron and go on through, pressing that open. And then I like to give it a little hit of steam. And what that does is the wood will wick it right through and dry it. I give it a little rock, and then I flip it over, press it from the top, and then again, give it a little hit with the magic spray. All right, and you always want to make sure when you're using steam or a starch, you want to make sure that you're pressing until it is dry. And you can see how nice and flat that is. All right, you would do the same with the wedges. So again, set your seam, put it over the stick. You're going to finger press. Here we go. And then you can come on in with your iron, rock it a little, press it a little, and then give it a little magic. Now you may remember we put together those halves in our second video where we did our precision pinning and then stitching. And what we want to do is now set our seam. And we're going to put it over the stick. And this is where our pressing stick really comes into play. It lifts all those previously stitched seams down because the stick has some height. All right, and you're going to come on through. And then this is also when I love the Rowenta Perfect Steam, because I can come through here with my fingers right in front of this and not worry about getting hit with steam because it only steams on demand. All right, now that I've safely come through, I'm going to go ahead and give it a little rock, a little steam, and I'm getting that seam nice and flat. All right, I'm going to flip it over. Again, it really helps to give it a little sizing at this point. And I'm going to give it a nice press. All right, and again, just make sure you're pressing it until it is dry. And then it's nice and flat. It will later get corners put on it, and I have a finished block to show you for that. But first, let me show you that 8 wedged block. Similarly, I pinned it, precision pinned it. I came through and stitched it. You can see that where that little V was, that the stitch came right on through. So I'm going to go ahead and set that seam. Put it over the stick, finger press. You can see all the steps are really the same. Whether or not you use the stick or not, you always want to set the seam, finger press, and then press. All right, flip it back over. Give it a little hit, and then press. It doesn't require a lot. Some quilters, I think, spray tons of the magic or an alternative starch spray on, and you really don't need to. All right, so ta-da, and you end up putting on green triangles on these polka dot wedges for the quilt. Let me take you to that one first. All right, and those are stitched on, and then they are pressed towards those corner triangles. So again, you always want to set your seam, finger press, and then press. All right, and again, you can see how nice and flat those seams are and how perfect this little block is. Let's go back to our 8-pointed star, but it finishes the same. Once we get that octagon trimmed up, we're then going to add our corner triangles to it, and you're going to do exactly the same thing. Set that seam, finger press, press, a little steam, and then when my blocks are finished, I want to make sure that I'm giving them a really nice hit of the magic spray, and then of course pressing it until it is dry. All right, the quilt finish is very easy as the blocks are all the same size, and you go ahead and do your precision pinning where you have seams that line up, and press it open. It comes together really, really nicely. All right, so this wraps up our series featuring my Kentucky Rose Garden. We've talked about color, we've talked about your 1/4 inch, pinning properly, stitching, and last but not least, pressing makes a difference. Make sure you have yourselves the correct tools, a good ironing surface, a good ironing spray, a good iron that steams, and also a pressing stick helps a great deal as well. All right, happy stitching. We'll see you later. And remember, we're always putting up all kinds of videos, interviews with our contestants, things about our show, instructors and what they're learning, and also these great tips. So make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel, Quilt TV. There you can be notified whenever we post any exciting new information.